Chairperson, before I begin, you may have noticed among the American side that one of these things is not like the other ones. It's been quite a while since I have been in front of the microphone debating. In fact, my last debate was in 1995, but also in Japan. And of course we won that debate. And even though I'm quite a bit older, I think I can handle these guys. But before I begin, if you don't mind, I have maybe some memory of what it was like to stand up in front of an audience, so I have to capture. Smile. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to rebuild the affirmative case here and make you quite clear that Japan needs to increase its consumption tax. I'll note at the beginning that the honorable speaker for the other side has presented an entire contradiction in his first speech. You'll notice his first point was that a consumption tax won't work because it only affects luxury items. But then his other point is it'll hurt the poor because it affects necessity items. Which one is going to be? This is an incredible tension between these speakers. They have no way of dealing with this particular issue. The opposition's case is built on a fundamental flaw. They do not understand simple supply and demand. Supply and demand. If they were correct that people did not purchase enough goods, companies that make those goods would simply lower the price if there was a supply and not enough demand to meet this. I'd also like to say that they begin by noting that Japan already faced the risk of being downgraded. Our entire argument is that it's very important for Japan to recognize it has already been downgraded. Fitch downgraded Japan's credit rating 2 weeks ago. I will say to you, don't risk another downgrading of credit. It's a double problem for you, as my partner Edmund presented in the first speech. It affects interest rates. Here's how important it is. Here's how important it is. It can take 100 yen and turn it into 500 yen. How can I do that? It's very simple. If I ask you to give me 100 yen today, and tomorrow Sean will give you 250 yen, would you do it?
Yes.
Yes, because that's what investors are going to do. If they see consumers in Japan paying into the system, they're going to invest in Japan. And there's going to be that money in the future for the Japanese government. At the same time, if you don't pay that 100 yen, then tomorrow the interest rates for Japan to service this incredible national debt is going to be much, much higher. You're going to have to pay us 250 yen for the current debt rating for these things. It's an incredible problem. It's a very small price to pay for the consumer to help the overall Japanese situation. They argue that this consumption tax will just mean people buy fewer goods. To begin with, we have the only economists in the room. Are you economists? No. We have the only economists in the room that say that the consumption tax, it works, and it has worked in a number of different countries around the world. This is the incentive of the goods around the world. Luxury items are not necessarily the important items. Okay? My friends, you have to make an evaluation. What is more important? For you to buy a television or for you to help the Japanese national debt? I think this is a very easy choice for you. Very, very easy choice. I like televisions. Edmund likes televisions. Sean likes televisions. But we prefer the Japanese people and the Japanese economy to be strong instead of having a new television every year. They argue that there are no incentives for people to change this situation. Actually, this is a very interesting situation. According to economists, Japanese consumers are not spending money right now because they are unsure of what will happen after the tsunami earthquake event in Fukushima Daiichi and after the European debt crisis. Many Japanese people, both people that have a lot of money and people that have not so much money, they are not spending money in the economy. So some economists actually say if the Japanese government takes action and raises the consumption tax, People who have been unsure will actually spend more money. Now, as for me, I believe the Japanese people are very intelligent. I believe they're very smart. And I believe the Japanese people can make the price calculus that the opponents are talking about. You know if you can afford the Boss Rainbow Blend coffee or if you can afford a television. This is very simple. Now, my friend Edmund has the Boss Rainbow coffee every single day. He likes that Boss Rainbow coffee. It's very important for his life. But that's because he can afford it. He has the money to be able to afford a Boss Rainbow coffee all the time that he wants to. But our opponents, they're arguing that Japanese people are not so smart and cannot make a calculation of do they have enough money or don't have enough money. Our opposition is saying the Japanese people are not intelligent. We believe the Japanese people are very intelligent and can make good economic choices. When we said, hey, what about economist evidence? They said, we believe logic is more important. My friends, if you believe logic is important, then you must be intelligent people. If you are intelligent people, you can make the price calculus and be able to send good money when you want to. Now, they have argued that a consumption tax is a problem because it's a government mandate. Actually, this brings me to my next point, that a consumption tax is the fairest form of a tax. It emphasizes personal choice. My friend Edmund, he exercises his choice when he purchases the Boss coffee. They maybe exercise choice when they buy the luxury television. When you exercise that personal choice, then the government has some tax on it. That's fair. Everyone can make that kind of decision. Everybody has decisions that they make over the economy. And that's fair for everyone. You know what's not fair? What's not fair is the aging population in Japan that has not enough coverage for it. Many of the elderly are poor and do not have the opportunity to work. Do not have the opportunity to work. It's not about the luxury goods for the elderly. It's about all these other things. Finally, I would just like to emphasize very quickly, Edmund's reminding me, that if our argument about the credit rating is true, it won't matter about the poor or the elderly. The Japanese economy will be devastated if there is a downgrading of ratings. No one will buy the Japanese government bonds. The interest rates will be too high. No one will be able to save any money. So it will affect everyone. Thank you very much.